Aly Carter told us about Diddy. Aly Carter has spoke out so much throughout the years and told us exactly how all of this is connected. The very first time she spoke out, she spoke about there being underground tunnels where she was moved through. And there have been a lot of rumors about Diddy allegedly having these underground tunnels that run to the Playboy Mansion. And the Playboy Mansion does have underground tunnels. Here is the blueprint of the Playboy Mansion that they made showing the underground tunnels underneath the mansion. And I blew this up a little bit more for you guys because back in the day, it actually led to celebrities' houses. Aly Carter has just made an affidavit of truth that she turned over to the feds against Diddy and other celebrities about how she was allegedly abused at a Playboy Mansion party. As you can see, here's Diddy's name here and others such as Birdman, Denzel Washington, and Young Jock.
You know the story's serious when the key witness simply disappears. One day, Aly Carter was live streaming frantic warnings. The next, her socials went dark, her house was ransacked, and sealed documents quietly confirmed she'd been moved into federal witness protection.
Key witness in the Diddy trial has gone missing. This is super concerning because she is crucial for the case against one of the biggest names in music.
Prosecutors now describe her as a material witness whose testimony is central to establishing the racketeering pattern. Yet it isn't her vanishing act that rattles the industry. It's what she took with her: phones, drives, and sworn statements tying hip-hop's biggest mogul to a maze of tunnels, encrypted freak-off chats, and an international pipeline of exploited people. And that, investigators say, is only the headline. But let's rewind to the moment the ground first shook. It was just past 1 a.m. when neighbors heard the alarm shriek at Carter's quiet desert rental. By the time police arrived, masked intruders were gone. Every closet had been ransacked, laptops smashed, phone chargers snipped. Carter went live hours later, weeping over overturned furniture and muttering that armed men wanted the drives. 4 days later, she vanished. And a month after that, prosecutors admitted she had been placed beyond immediate reach of potential intimidators. The break-in might have been dismissed as random if Homeland Security agents hadn't been investigating identical intimidation tactics against at least 3 other ex-employees of Sean Diddy Combs.
You get pressured, attacked, stalked, and hunted down for your own information. You get abused and re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue a back and forth this week like that f***ing mattered. Okay, you had Stu Peters and Timothy Charles Homestead going back and forth, and nobody has even bothered. Not that I give a damn, and not that I understand that you guys are gonna be that selfish, but nobody has bothered to apologize for all the hell that has happened. But you guys were arguing back and forth, and in that meantime, we lost our home. You don't believe me? Here you go. What once was a full house, we were still paying rent on our house. What we were doing this whole time was moving everything because our house is gone. Our house is gone. This is the speaking out. What was our beautiful 3-bedroom acre home on 21225 Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marx, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my So here you go. You can have it, right? Because this is what happens when you speak out. This is what happens when you tell all the truth.
Court filings describe cash offers, smashed devices, and thinly veiled threats delivered in black SUVs with no plates. But that burglary was just the first footsteps on a trail that led underneath Los Angeles itself. Long before Hollywood pool parties, Prohibition bootleggers carved service passages through the soft earth of Benedict Canyon. Some were sealed in the 1930s. Others, urban historians say, still snake between estates. Carter insists modern renovations enlarge them into private corridors, wide enough for golf carts and safe from cameras. Ideal, she claims, for hiding drugs, guns, or people without street-level witnesses. City utility maps confirm at least 3 still intact shafts running beneath 2 mansions once leased by music executives, though none name Combs directly. Skeptics rolled their eyes until the March 2024 raids. On a gray Monday, federal teams hit Combs' Holmby Hills mansion and 2 Miami properties simultaneously. the public fixated on the shock value: 900 bottles of lubricant, industrial crates of baby oil, locked cabinets marked FO supplies, and a small arsenal of rifles. Behind closed courtroom doors, agents talked less about what filled the shelves and more about what filled the drives. Time-stamped videos, some labeled Zoo, others Pig Night, matching Carter's earlier language. One folder, investigators told the judge, contained chat logs arranging Thursday FO nights, complete with special menus and rider lists of international arrivals. Suddenly, Carter's seemingly wild terminology sounded less like internet folklore and more like code police had just cracked. And that code led straight into the courtroom. Inside the Southern District's 14th floor courtroom, Special Agent Penland projected snippets of a Signal group chat onto a giant screen. Handles included Love Daddy, Chef, and an emoji-only username believed to be a fixer in Dubai. One exchange read, "Zoo confirmed. 2 calves. No food for the guys until after." Another, "Pig night list final, washroom blacked out, red towels only." Jurors shifted, reporters gasped. Months earlier, Carter had described pig night parties where victims were forced into degrading acts while black towels covered cameras until a signal light flashed. Her story, once dismissed as clickbait, now sat in hard text behind the judge. But the most unnerving alignment of testimony came from an unexpected voice: R&B star Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, who settled a civil claim in 2023 yet still testified under subpoena. She confirmed freak-off gatherings where phones were bagged, electricity cut, and Kita cocktails flowed. Events she said left her numb in every sense of the word. Pattern prosecutors sketched was brutal: intimidation, NDAs, bribes, and a conveyor belt of victims flown in from unstable regions. And that's when the charges multiplied. In March 2025, Combs faced not just ST counts but a sweeping racketeering indictment. Prosecutors alleged a 12-year conspiracy involving forced labor, abduction, arson meant to destroy evidence, and the bribery of hotel security after violent outbursts. Embedded in those pages was a single line that lit social media ablaze. Victim number 4, known publicly as A, provided digital evidence corroborating ritual abuse and the transportation of people across state lines. Though the filing never said her name, bloggers quickly connected A to Aly Carter. Defense attorneys called it coincidence. The judge warned everyone against doxing protected witnesses. Still, insiders claim at least 3 sealed exhibits bear Carter's initials. One is rumored to contain flight manifests from Port-au-Prince and Tegucigalpa matching Carter's allegation that people were funneled in from Haiti and Honduras. Another reportedly logs payments to a Guatemalan registrar willing to generate fresh birth certificates, scrubbing ages and identities. The enterprise, prosecutors contend, viewed these cargo as just another business expense, handled by the same accountants who tracked royalties. Yet numbers alone rarely sway juries, stories do, and Carter's is nearly cinematic. Pig Night was once house slang inside Hugh Hefner's mansion, a derogatory nickname for late-night parties where outsiders were ranked, used, and discarded. Former staff still wince while recalling weekly medical checks performed on guests with questionable profiles.
Watching an episode called Pig Night, when I went, they tried to feed us. And I remember it because when
Pig
you
night.
have to do
Say what?
orders, jobs like that, you don't eat. You're not allowed to eat. You actually have to starve yourself, because when you have to do those type of jobs, you can't eat because you will throw up.
Really?
If you are doing, or if you are a guy doing it, you will shit everywhere.
Oh boy.
When this happens, your parents will get mad at you. Really mad at you. And if that is a fetish for someone, they use that to their advantage. So if you throw up on someone, you will have to eat it. If you someone, you will have to lay in it.
Carter claims Combs adopted the ritual, layering on darker twists, power outages, masked staffers, and the most horrifying allegations too graphic to handle. Mainstream outlets repeat those claims cautiously. Prosecutors haven't charged counts of indecency, but the Pig Night chat folder remains under protective seal. Whatever agents witnessed, they argued in chambers, was graphic enough to risk irreversible trauma if shown publicly. Defense lawyers argue the term was mere crude party slang. Nothing illegal occurred. Jurors haven't seen that footage yet, but they did hear Cassie describe a room that smelled of fear and baby oil, and a basement lined with hot lights and recording gear. Whether the jury ultimately believes Carter's account may hinge on the next phase of testimony, if she ever takes the stand. And that's where the stakes and the danger skyrocket. Days after the indictment dropped, a former security contractor, victim number 3 in court papers, stopped answering subpoenas. Police found his door ajar, his phone in the trash, and no clear indication of where he'd gone. Prosecutors produced bank records showing a $250,000 deposit from a Delaware shell company tied to Combs' clothing line. Defense counsel chalked it up to business debt repayment. Carter, by contrast, is tucked away, yet still at risk. An assistant U.S. attorney told the judge they'd intercepted credible active threats within private telegram channels offering six-figure bounties for identifying her location. Court record notes a request for enhanced security measures when or if she appears. Thus far, prosecutors have relied on her sworn statements and evidence dumps. The jury has only heard her voice in short excerpts. But rumors swirl that she may testify by closed-circuit link, her face in shadow, her name redacted, even from jurors. If she does, the final act could hit harder than any closing argument. Opening arguments began May 5, 2025. After 7 weeks of testimony, the government expects to rest within days. Combs' defense team is weighing whether to call him, risking cross-examination about everything from secret tunnels to baby oil stockpiles. Legal analysts say a conviction on the top trafficking count alone could carry a minimum 30-year sentence, potentially life, given the aggravated circumstance of minors. Wall Street whispers about Bad Boy's streaming catalog have already shaved millions off its valuation. Meanwhile, lobbyists quietly probe the White House about clemency prospects after a former president hinted at a pardon if the justice system overreaches. No paper has yet confirmed a formal request, but the chatter underscores how politically radioactive the case has become. Through it all, Carter's name hangs like a ghost light over each proceeding, referenced, sidestepped, but never uttered in full. And that sets the stage for the question nobody at the defense table wants asked. The jury finds that Carter's drives link tunnels, raids, encrypted chats, trafficked minors, then Combs' empire collapses from the inside. Civil suits from past freak-off guests will flood in. RICO forfeiture could strip music catalogs, liquor stakes, even real estate. Affiliate brands, headphones, vodka, fashion would sprint to distance themselves. But the larger aftershock could hit Hollywood infrastructure itself. 'Cause if secret corridors can exist beneath one mansion, how many more remain undocumented? If one global pipeline can operate behind platinum plaques, how many other producer moguls are still hiding in plain sight? For decades, fans have loved the myth of hip-hop excess. Few pause to ask where the bodies get buried when after hours turn criminal. Now a single unreliable blogger, long mocked as hysterical, may carve her testimony into judicial record, turning rumor into precedent. And if that happens, Los Angeles's greatest secret won't be the tunnels. It will be the silence that covered them for so long. Maybe you've dismissed the whispers. Maybe you've shared the memes about Pig Night without believing a word. But by the time this jury foreman stands, we'll know whether hearsay becomes history. Because sometimes all it takes is one missing woman, reappearing under oath, to crack the surface of an empire and let every buried secret bleed into daylight. So watch the docket. Listen for the name the court still redacts. And remember, beneath the glamour of the City of Angels, it's the hidden rooms that decide whose wings get clipped. Until the verdict drops, stay alert, because what rises in that courtroom might not be the only empire trembling.